So we're just getting the channel fired up and see who joins. So bear with. Let's get it. So, did attempt to do a Telegram live. Yeah, that didn't really work. But do we expect anything else other than technical issues? No, we always have them. So I'm just sharing the link, see if we can get some people in the chat. I was hoping to do a nice Q&A tonight, just give people a chance to ask anything that they want to do, anything that they're interested in or curious about on Telegram, you know, sort of real time without having the need of typing. And that didn't work, of course. Look at me, my collar. See, I'm much better shirtless, aren't I? Let's face it. I haven't got to worry about a collar. I'm not used to wearing collars. I was in jeans today, honestly. It's cold. It's cold here now. 23 degrees, I think, today. Ugh. It's not cricket. Very unfriendly. Anyway, hi. Thanks for joining. If you have come over from the Telegram group, really sorry that didn't go according to plan. I have no idea why. I set it up, I thought, correctly. Press start. Did everything that I could, but I couldn't hear anybody at all. And I've no idea why. So hopefully you can hear me. I can see you watching. So put something in the chat, just a thumbs up, anything if you can hear me. Otherwise, yeah, what can I say? Thanks for confirming that the US was on the list of countries for visas. I apologise, I can only read, understand English and French. Don't apologise, Todd. You're already one ahead of me. Yeah, French, I'll work that out. Yeah, I can't speak or read Russian. So, Todd, you're fine, absolutely fine. There is a translation on my Telegram group, one of my channel subscribers, yeah, I guess. Stuart has very kindly translated the relevant document, so that is live on my Telegram group on the chat. So if you do want to see the list in English, that's where it is. Failing that, you can usually right-click something and do Google Translate. But there we go. So the list has come out today. No real shock. Pretty much was, hi Andrea, nice to see you. Letters. I was hoping to speak to you on Telegram, but yeah, no real shock regarding the list, I don't think. Pretty much what we expected. All the unfriendly countries, US, UK. Let's face it, it's going to be everybody that watches this stream or watches my channel, it's going to be you guys, unless you're somewhere very obscure. But I think if you follow my channel and you're looking to come to Russia and you're looking to get information about Russia, then yeah, it's going to cover you. You're going to be good to go. But like I say, the actual list is live on my Telegram group. So hi, Kenneth. Thanks for all that you do. Thank you. All that I do. I'll tell you what I did today. Went out filming a video. Good evening, Linda. Went out with a plan to film a video. Ended up filming 4 videos. So I'm quite happy with them. Hope you are. I promise they're not of my damned terrace. I promise that. Even I've got bored with that. So I've actually deleted 2 of the terrace videos because I'm done. I'm so done with the terrace. It's so last year, darling. But I think it's waterproof. I think it is. I don't want to jinx it. I didn't look today, but the guy that was doing the waterproofing part of the terrace was soaking it with a hose pipe yesterday for a very long time, and he is absolutely adamant that there's no way it's going to leak. And yeah, he said, here's my phone number, you can contact me, this is my reputation, this is not going to leak, I promise you. So, seems promising. But yeah, no more terrace videos. But today I did go out. We'll get to the list again if people want to know anything about that. But today I did go out, like I say, with the intention of doing one video, which is from a golf course. One of those things that we keep driving past and I keep thinking, let's go in there. Not that I'm interested in golf. Spoils a good walk as far as I'm concerned. I have played golf a few times. No, that's not fair. I have turned up at a golf course and whacked a ball with a stick sometimes. Mostly when I was drunk, because it was a stag do, or 2 or 3 stag do's. So, yeah, kind of, golf's not really my thing, but probably because I've not really tried to make it my thing. I do remember the last time I went, I was very drunk, very drunk. And I remember on one of the teeing off points, I couldn't hit the damn ball. So there was about 8 of us, we were all drunk. And in the end, I just picked the ball up and threw it. And I found that that worked a lot better. So me and golf, not really the best of friends. But this golf course is very near to us. It's something that I keep driving past. And I just thought, you know what, it might make an interesting video. And yeah, I think it has. It's an interesting place. Golf course in southern Russia. Was it something you were expecting? I wasn't. So we went and did that. And then afterwards, we went to a couple of other places, did 2 more videos. One place I'd visited in 2021 when I first came to Russia, and I haven't been back since, so it was nice to go there and just sort of see what that was like. Really pretty, lovely place. The other place is fairly new, only been running, I think the shop has only been open since 2023, so it's all very new and nice and very classy. Nice, I didn't fit in at all. And then the last place is 3 kilometres away from our house. Didn't know it was there, just driving down the road. And the wife, funnily enough, said, let's go there and see what that is. So we turned around, went into what we thought was going to be something that it turned out to be the complete opposite, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So I'm not going to give any more away about those videos because you won't watch them. And I need you to watch them, I need you to share them. So, oh God. Computer say no. Go away, computer. So yeah, so some more content coming, and like I say, it isn't going to be the terrace. You'll be pleased to know. Cats. You're going to hear random noises because it's cat playtime at the moment. I've got one running around with a toy mouse in his mouth, growling like a dog. I kid you not. Honestly, I looked round, thought it was a dog. And then the other 2 are probably trying to get the mouse off of him. So, yeah, it's you've heard the expression herding kittens. This is where it comes from. Let's catch up with the chat before I get too buried. Kenneth, that's Jason Klazowski. You were super helpful on the live stream from Crimea in Russia channel. Okay. It probably means more to Jason than it does to me, for sure. The road less travelled. Hey, we're officially on the list. Yeah, I think, let's face it, guys, I think if you're looking to come to Russia, you're realistic. And you're looking to come to Russia for probably the same reasons as everyone else. So you're going to be from those countries. You know, it's nice to see it in black and white, so you know for sure. You haven't just got somebody saying, oh yeah, it's going to be. But as it's turned out, it has. It's exactly who we expected it was going to be. We're coming to a Napa. Got a wing. You'd consider putting us under. Pretty please. We're not ready to do that. It's something we're looking to do at some point in the future. Maybe put people up. But we're a long way from that at the moment. So if you're looking for a nest for a few nights, that's something we've talked about, something that we're thinking of doing, but we're a long way from it. We've got so much going on around the house at the moment. The terrace is dug up. You know, what we want to do, if we do that, is have the upstairs, the master bedroom, as the guest bedroom. We would actually sleep in the guest bedroom. So guests will actually get the master bedroom with the ensuite bathroom and the massage bed and their own private balcony and their own private entrance, so they can come and go as they please without having the need to sort of come through the house if they don't want to. And it'd just be nicer. You know, you can have coffee on the terrace in the morning, you can walk down the stairs straight to the swimming pool, same with the sauna. So it'd just be a nicer experience, and you won't feel like you're sort of interrupting us, which, you know, we wouldn't think that anyway, but it'd just be a nicer experience. So that's what we plan to do, but we're just a long way from doing that at the moment. So hopefully something for the future. Right, where are we? Jason says, God, you guys are busy tonight. I can't keep up. I'm just a Canadian looking to get out while the getting is good. We're in the process of applying for a visa to be tourist in Russia. So me, blah, blah, blah. Golf. Yeah, I know, Andrea. I know. But lovely restaurant. Really nice. And well priced, I've got to say. Wasn't expecting that because it's quite a nice golf course. Most of them are, I suppose. There's a tennis club there as well. Really nice restaurant. We had a lovely coffee. Looked at the menu, thought very reasonably priced. My wife of 26 years is originally from Thailand, and I want to convince her that Sochi is warmer than our home in West Virginia, USA. Any suggestions? Google? Just throwing it out there. I use Google for everything. So I'm so clever. You're from West Virginia, what part was property? Clarksburg. Looks like you guys are having a chat to yourselves, so that's good. I can get through this real quick. Sailor, hi Sailor, nice to see you. Announcement. All right, folks, the list is out by decree of President if you belong to one of the following 46 countries. Yeah, we kind of done that. So the list is out. I think you'll find I broke it first on YouTube. Thanks to a very good friend of the channel. He sent me the info just as he did when the decree came out. So I was the first person to break the news about the decree on YouTube, which, you know, hey, it's a small thing. I'm a small channel, but it's nice to beat the big boys to it, isn't it? So, yeah, first to break the news of the decree and first to break the news of the list. So happy with that. We're both English, but living in Canada the last few decades. Okay. I did enjoy visiting Canada. I stayed there for a while Went to Whistler, I've mentioned it before, went to Whistler and Vancouver. But it was all expenses paid, and it was expensive. Stayed in the, I want to say the Fairmont Hotel. Not sure if you're familiar with Vancouver. Right in Vancouver Harbour, overlooking the seaplanes, the taxi service. So that was cool. Hey Chris, just started watching your vids on the house, your building experience, etc. Super awesome. Helps give insight into Russian life from your angle. Yeah, I mean, everybody will do things differently. Everybody will, you know, do their channel differently, show different stuff. What I'm trying to do is just have a bit of peace and quiet, isn't it, sweetie? So this one's Gizmo. Her ears spend a lot of time flat, so she looks like Gizmo. And she's the cutest little thing in the world until there's food. And then she turns into Stripe. And if you've watched Gremlins, you know exactly what I mean. And if you haven't, go and watch it, because this is the star. Aren't you, Gizzy? You're a lovely, cute thing until there's food. And then she's bit the wife. She's bit the wife's finger. She literally turns into a psychopath. It is like Jekyll and Hyde. She's an absolute loon. When it comes to food, it's like, like a mad thing. Just running up my back while you got introduced to her. Yes, sorry, Jason. Yeah, my channel is exactly that. It's, you know, not everybody's going to like every video. Some stuff you're going to look at and go, boring. But if the world was all the same and we all like the same things, the world would be boring. So, you know, but what I'm trying to do, even on the simplest, most basic and what may look at face value quite boring, you'll still see blue sky in the background, probably. You'll still see, you know, maybe nice weather or a swimming pool. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to show people that have no real understanding of Russia something that makes them question it and go, this is Russia, really? So even on the, you know, the videos we do around the house, the whole point of that really is, A, to give you guys, you know, a bit of different content that's not necessarily political, but also give new people the opportunity to question the narrative and go, this is really Russia. And I get that so much. You know, the messages that I get from people after watching videos on the channel, you know, really blown away, can't believe that what they've watched is actually in Russia. And that's, you know, that's my goal. That's what I want to do. I want to open as many people's eyes as I can, like I had my eyes opened, as you probably heard me say that a lot. So yeah, it's, you know, it's not necessarily a vlog of my life. I don't do it every day, but, you know, if I see something I think it might be interesting, I'll do a video. So yeah, I do like to try and do live streams. I really want to do as many live streams as I can to give you guys the opportunity to ask a question in real time. As long as I'm not too far behind the chat, which I am at the minute, so forgive me. Very nice town, also a VAMC there, which brought me from Hampton VAMC. Okay, different chat, I'm guessing. Sorry not for put up just for help for first month or so. Of course, if you come to an APA, and yeah, again, that was something else that somebody suggested to me. He said, why don't you, and this is based on the recent experience, which was a bad one. I won't go into that yet, but that may come to light one day. But based on a recent bad experience, somebody suggested that I actually did like a tour guide kind of thing for Brits that come to an APA, that don't know where they're going, that are just coming to stay in a resort hotel and know the beach. The hotel and the beach, and that's it. You know, maybe some restaurants, maybe some local vineyard tours, maybe some local attractions, you know, or even just some basic help like where's the police station, or, you know, stuff like that. And also because I drive, obviously I've got a car that I can potentially run people around, drop people off. So that's something that, again, considering for the future. I don't know, would that be of interest? You know, your very own personalised Tour guide. Oh, you little... damned mozzie. I think it was a mozzie. Didn't have my glasses on. It was flying, so needs to die. Right, where are we? How much money do you suggest Westerner to bring? That is the impossible question. I'm going back to university in Canada and I'm in my 30s. What do you think? How much will it cost to put radiators in my house? Lots of variables to that question, aren't there? How big's the house? How many rooms? How big are each room? What's the height of the ceilings? Where's the house situated? What kind of insulation do you have? What kind of radiators do you want? Blah, blah, blah. How big's your boiler, etc., etc. So it's the impossible question. I'm not being pedantic, but it's very easy to, you know, ask that question. And I get when you have no knowledge, you've got to start somewhere, but it really is an impossible question to answer. The cost of living is much lower here than it is in Western countries. But depends what kind of life you want to live while you're here. Are you coming for a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months? What kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to eat out in restaurants every night? Do you want to cook? Do you just want to live on bread and cheese? Bought some cheese today, actually. Very nice cheese. Yeah, you know, I'm happy to answer any questions, but they need, for me to be able to give a, you know, a one sentence answer, they need to be specific. If they're too broad, how much will it cost to build a house in Russia? Then I'll do that really, because it's just an impossible question. I could probably make a live stream out of that question alone. So tie it down, be specific. You know, how much is a plot of land in your region, X size by X, blah, blah, blah. You know, be specific, I can give you a specific answer. So, yeah, spicy bean. It's an impossible question, mate, I'm afraid. If you can give me some more specifics, then I'll give you a better answer. Andrea, wow, thank you. Thank you. That's really kind of you. 20 sec, that's Swedish krona, isn't it? I think somebody told me the other night. So thank you again for that. Yeah, wasn't expecting that, so thank you. Jason, yup, look up Canada. We're on it. Canada is on it. Oh God. What is going on? Bombarded with flags now. Are there property and or income taxes in Russia? Yes. So income tax, as I understand, is 13%. Yes, 13. And I think the higher rate is 15%. I think self-employed taxes, not taxes to take you to work, but taxes that you pay the government, are, I think, 6%. I think. Property taxes, yes. Land taxes, yes. Not even worth talking about. I mean, seriously, it's pennies. It's literally not worth a consideration. A bit like the gas bill. If you come from a Western country, don't even bother to ask what gas bill is. It's not even worth asking. It's not something you're ever going to factor into your expenses. Our gas bill last month was about 90 pence. So what's that, $1? $1, $1 US dollar? It's just not even worth factoring in. Electric's a bit more expensive, especially for us. We're running 3 air conditioning units and a swimming pool at the moment, so electric's more, but I think electric last month was about £27, £28, something like that. So yeah, there are property taxes and land taxes, but I mean that I think £15 we paid for land, property, selling a flat, loads of stuff. You know, I've done the whole story of how my wife told me we had a tax bill. So I won't do it again, it'll just bore the people that already know. But yeah, Todd, it's negligible, it really is. Alexander, hi Chris, thank you so much for the very interesting videos, my pleasure. Thank you for making that comment. And Napa and Nova Assist have changed a lot for the better since I was there in 2009. Nova Assist, I don't think you would recognise. A huge amount of development has gone on there because obviously it opened up as a port, you know, full scale, and the money that comes into that port gets spent on developing the local area. And there are new tower blocks, there's new seafront walkways all around the harbour. Yeah, it's lovely, really nice. It's still an absolute arse to get in and out of because it's one road in, so it's still a pitter to get in and out of at certain times of the day, but lovely, really nice. I belong to 2 countries on the list. Does it increase my chances? I think you stand a pretty good chance. I think you'll be all right, sailor. For retirees, retirees age 65, as in what taxes are for retirees age 65. So if you're 65 and over, you don't need to take the language test anyway, so the Putin decree won't matter to you. The decree only matters for 3 years of temporary residency. If you want to become a permanent resident, you still need to take the language test, don't forget. But if you're 65, you don't. So move to Russia. For a 3-month visa and temporary residency without the language test. Yeah, okay. Derek, good evening, Derek. I doff my cap to you, sir. Medical for TRP is available in Moscow as the only FMS hospital. Okay, there's a bit of information for you guys. I need to check that because we've been told that the medical can be taken in Krasnodar. So that's something that I need to check. I'll definitely bow down to your knowledge, Derek, so I'm definitely not saying you're wrong. But somebody, an official has said that we can do the medical in Krasnodar in the same place. So I need to check that. Crown possessions, okay. Furby Slayer, Calico with sass. Okay, Mr. 40, me no understand. Spicy bean, oh, do you know what? I'm getting bored with looking at this. I'm getting bored with looking at flags, so I'm sorry. I can't read the chat when it's full up with flags. There we go. Hopefully that's cleared the chat up with flags. Connor Blake, good evening. I had a Gizmo toy when I was younger. Absolutely loved the Gremlins. Yeah, when I was younger it was Gizmo window sticker for the car, or a Garfield. Don't know, do you remember the Garfields? But yeah, Gremlins, what a classic film. But we've got a real live one here. Little monster. You know they live up to the name. No, this one, yeah, she created the name. Funnily enough, they've all had name changes, really. Luna, because Gizmo was originally called Luna. but now Luna was called, I don't know. It's they're furry things and they have different names and they keep changing, and I'm just, I'm too old for this. That one's Gizmo. There's another one called Luna. There's another one over there called Ripple. And we've got Rios, which has always been Rios, and we've got Rosie, which has always been Rosie. But there we go. Thank you, sir. That is a great answer. Okay, Spicy Bean, I hope that's helpful. I don't know. I think you're relating to the how much to bring with you kind of thing. Yeah, really depends. I'll ask some specifics. Join my Telegram group and you can message me as much as you want. Ask as many questions as you like. So it doesn't matter what time of day or night. If you think of something and you think, oh, I wonder if, ask me. I'm not saying I'll know the answer. I might do. But more than happy to answer anybody's questions. Derek, example, our land and dacha tax bill is 6,000 each as we are joint owners and land is big in volume. Yes, so there you go. So 6,000 rubles, about 6,000 rubles, £60. No, less than that. With today's exchange rate, about 50 pounds, thereabouts, 50, 55. So Derek's giving you an example there, but he's got, you know, a big piece of land, I think, and that's land and dacha tax. So yeah, 6,000, that's for a year. It's not worth factoring in, really ain't. Todd, thanks Chris on the 65 years of age info and the language test waiver. Pleasure. A lot of the time I'm only repeating what somebody's told me, so I'm not particularly clever, I just remember things sometimes. Jason, thank you. Canadian $5. Thank you very much. No idea what that equates to in rubles, but thank you. Appreciate that. Andrew is right. Thanks for taking time to share. How long can you use your home country driving license for needing one from Russia? That depends on your visa status. So, for example, I can use my driving license because I'm on a 1-year visa. So you can only use your driving license for a year, and then by that time I'm out of the country. So 11 months and then I'm out of the country, and then start all over again. But it really does depend on your visa status, whether you've applied for temporary residency. There are all sorts of quirks. It has been discussed in my Telegram group. If you join that and ask that question, there are people far more knowledgeable on the subject that can give you a more specific answer to, you know, your specific visa question. But it is visa related, so. Gizmo is a calico with sass. Okay. We were told that these tricolour cats, they are only ever female, because any males that are born are sterile, so they can't reproduce. So, but surely that means you can still have a male one. Yeah, I don't know. Pick the bones out of that one, guys. Moscow and Moscow region. Yes. So yeah, Derek's taxes relate to Moscow and Moscow region. Down here, a lot cheaper. So region specific for the taxes as well. Do your cats scratch your sofa and walls? No, Tatiana. Tatiana. Yes, that is Tatiana, isn't it? Sorry. I'm trying to read Russian. No, we've got a... Let me just do that. So we've got a cat hotel, which is about just over 6 feet tall. And if you have a look at my channel, there's a short video on there, which I think was this morning, or it might have been yesterday morning, where they were 4 of them stacked in it. So it's got lots of scratching posts, and they pulled that apart, and they haven't scratched the sofas, and they haven't scratched the walls. If they do, I shall introduce them to the neighbour's dog. There we go. Do you think there is a great migration, people leaving USA, Canada, GB? I tell you what I think. I think there is a great delusional migration. That's probably harsh. I think there's a lot of people that want to leave the West. There's a lot of people, it's a bit like voting, isn't it? You know, you don't always vote for somebody. Quite often you vote against someone and you just, you know, you tick a box, the opposition, just to get that person out without really knowing what that vote entails. And if you do get that person in, it might be a lot worse. Case in point, UK. You know, I said before Starmer got elected that when Starmer gets elected, and I was talking about this a long time ago, when Starmer gets elected, which he will because it's what the WEF wants and that's how it will go, when he gets elected, it will be a lot worse in the UK than it is, or it was currently under Sunak. Not because there's a change of policy, exactly the same policies, but a different implementation. Sunak, scared of his own shadow, wouldn't do anything. You know, it's just too scared, which is why he was gone. He was no good as the WEF boy. Starmer is an absolute jackboot thug, and I've said that all along. And he's following the policies and doesn't care how. You know, that's his task, is to implement those policies. So he doesn't care about you and me. So yeah, there's a lot of people that I think are just fed up with their situation in the West and see Russia as the answer without understanding that moving to another country is a massive deal. Moving to another country that is Russia is an even bigger deal. First and foremost, the language. It is absolutely not the easiest thing if you're an English speaker. It is very difficult, very, very different. The culture, the way of life, the attitude. I think there's a lot of people that have a Western attitude, you know, a bit borderline arrogance to confidence. You know, it's a fine line. And I've said this and I'll say it again, if people come here, you know, I know a lot of Westerners. I lived in the West, I lived in the UK all my life. And it is a chest puffed out, goose up, you know, walking down the road kind of attitude. If you come to Russia with that attitude, you're going to have a bad day. It won't wash. Russians just, you know, they shoot from the hip. They won't, they don't do pretty, they don't do PC, they don't care about your feelings per se. They're not going to worry if it offends you. They will tell you straight. And if you're being a dick, you'll be told you're being a dick in no uncertain terms. But they'll say they're better move on. You know, it's not like they'll hold a grudge against you. That, you know, they'll just tell you you're being an arsehole. It's as simple as that. So if you come with that kind of cocky attitude, you're going to really come unstuck. So it's a big change to come to Russia. And there are a lot of people that are delusional about how much money they're going to need. You know, I've had people contacting me asking if $60,000 is going to be enough to come to Russia and live out the rest of their days and not work. Seriously? Just think about that for a minute. $60,000. 6 million rubles. 2-bedroom flat and an apple will cost you that. So what are you going to do for the rest? You know, I mean, that's... And I get that people are in a situation. I understand that they are where they are. But you're not going to move to this country and not work on $60,000. You know, unless you plan on living in a tent or, I don't know, living in a little log cabin in the woods somewhere, catching rabbits, I don't know. But if you want to have any kind of life, you're going to need more than that. I think that's obvious, isn't it? Surely. But you can certainly have a much better lifestyle here based on the money than you could. You know, I mean, the house we're living in, if I pick this house up, land, house, everything how it is, swimming pool, sauna, etc., and plonked it in, you know, the expensive part of my hometown in the UK, it would be £1 million. It's a house I could never afford in the UK. I couldn't afford to have a swimming pool in the UK. I couldn't afford to run a swimming pool in the UK, let alone have one built. So yeah, you can, you know, if you've got Western money, you can have a wonderful life in Russia. If you've got Russian money, then you need to be working. You know, you need to come here and earn a living. So it really depends on your financial situation. But please don't be delusional, just be realistic. You know, if you move into another country, you're going to need money. So yeah, the final answer to that really is I think a lot of people just think they're going to move to Russia and all the problems are solved. It's not that easy. You know, the visa process is still stringent. It's not a case that Putin's new decree means that it's open doors. No, not even close. You've still got to pass a medical, you've still got to produce a police check, and it's an in-depth police check. So all of that is vetted. Your application is sent to Moscow to be scrutinised. They were looking at who you are, what you're doing. You have to report your earnings every year if you're coming on a temporary residence permit. You know, how are you going to support yourself? So there's lots of things you have to jump through. It's still not a case of just rocking up like it is in a lot of countries. You can't do that. You've got to go through a visa process. And the immigration process is there for a reason. It's strict. And yeah, whilst the language part of it is now negated, it's only negated for 3 years. So you will need to learn the language. So, yeah. Sorry. I'm too slow. I'm either too slow on the chat or you guys are just too fast. That's nuts. I pay for, yeah. Just, yeah, taxes. Oh, yeah, I'm absolutely fully aware of the taxes and stuff. You know, in the UK, we used to pay about £250 a month in council tax. For a 2-bedroom flat. Here our council tax is 0. Nothing. I think we pay about £1, just £1, £1.50 to have the rubbish gone. I'm trying to think. I've discussed this before. I mean, it's a country. This country, from what I can tell, is, and don't get me wrong, there are a lot of Russians that are living, you know, on the breadline. There are a lot of Russians that are not happy about the recent, you know, price increases over the last few years, inflation, etc., etc. Same as in, you know, in the West, inflation. I mean, fuel in Russia has gone up since October 21, so in 3 years, petrol has gone from about 50 rubles a litre to, in my region, 58 rubles. So it's gained 8 rubles, which is about 6 pence. So 6 pence in 3 years, 2 pence a year, you're going to laugh at if you're a Westerner. But for Russians, it's a lot. You know, it's another big increase. In comparison, the UK petrol has gone up 50 pence in that time frame. So it's all relative. Russia, USA and France. Do you have a big house, Jason? Sorry. Guys and gals, hit the like button. Thank you, Linda. Please do that. Smash the thumbs up. And drop a comment after this live stream's ended. It all helps with the algorithm, which, I don't know, I can't work it out. You know, sometimes YouTube, it seems to be absolutely rolling along. If you look at my alphabet video, it's like 20,000 views now. Something like 800 comments. It's insane. It's gone mad, absolutely mad. And then I'll drop another video and it'll get 200 views or something. It's bonkers. Not to mention her other disastrous policies. I missed that. Whose? Oh, yeah. Not really big on that. Okay. You guys are chatting amongst yourselves. Story of 3 countries. Oh, wow. Here in Colorado, for a big city, I pay around $1,300 for a 1,600-foot house. Okay. Our house is about 135 square metres, just the house. But the actual, what they call the cadaster, which is measures all of your terraces and your garage, etc., is about 240 square metres. 245 square metres, I think. So that's roof terraces, that's the garage, that's the sauna, etc., etc. Road tax, yeah. Colorado. Say hello to my friend. I've got a friend who lives in Colorado. He lives up in the hills. He's got a nice Raptor, I think, pickup truck, amongst other toys. Where am I? Where am I? I'm a long way behind with this chat. I'm really sorry, guys. I will get to you. I'm reading it. People in Russia tell everything directly without beating around the bush. Correct. Absolutely correct. They don't. I'll tell you what you won't find. You won't find somebody being nicey to you, and then the minute you walk out the door, them slagging you off, like they do in the West. Oh, hi. Oh, it's lovely to see you. Have a nice day. Freaking. They don't do that. Not at all. If it's not lovely to see you, they'll tell you. Simple as that. So, you know, it's, yeah. As I said, if you come here with a Western attitude, you're gonna regret it. They just don't muck about. They're just straight, you know. They just shoot from the hip. They call it how it is, and I love that. I really love that. I cannot stand all this, you know, backstabbing mentality. You know, being nice to your face because we've got to show, you know, and all that. I can't stand that. I cannot do fake. I really can't. I just cannot. I haven't got time for it. I just, no. Canada Queen's taxed. I still need private health insurance to cover things. £1,000 for an ambulance. Oh my God. Tax for my 150 square metre flat in Moscow is around $450, which is relatively low, but still sad. Yeah, I mean, compared to down here, yeah, it is. But that's Moscow, you know. Everybody knows Moscow isn't Russia. It's just a completely different place and completely different costs. So, yeah. Come check out Colorado. The weather is great, and it's a little bit cheaper than Canada, maybe. We have mountains. I thank you for the invite. I will never set foot in the US. I always wanted to go to the States. I always wanted to go to Florida and do the touristy thing, and lots of places, you know. There's a lot of stuff in the States that really looks amazing. But I've had friends that have gone there, you know, for many years, and you know, a good friend of mine has been there many times, and this time he came back from Chicago, and he said he'll never go again. He said the prices are insane, everybody's miserable and unhappy and rude, whereas before everybody was so lovely and friendly. He said it just felt really unsafe. He just painted a very grim picture of it, and I'll be honest, I'm too old for Disneyland, and it's Disney, so I've got no interest in that crap anyway. You know, this WOKE nonsense, nah, don't sit with me, so I've got no interest in Disneyland. And I'm too old for theme parks, so yeah, I've got everything I need here in Russia. We've got 11 time zones, we've got every climate you can think of. I can go skiing down the road, Sochi, it's just down the road. When you move to Russia, you'll see it's just down the road. 300 kilometers is a local trip to the shops. If you think the US is big, double it, because Russia's twice the size. If you think the UK is big, 70 times, 67 times, 70 times the size Russia is. It's massive. So, yeah, I've got everything here that I need, and some. My wife will be going to Russia for, sorry Linda, I never know whether it's Linda or, yeah. My wife will be going to Russia through Sochi. We are buying a plot of land of 100 sotok or 1 hectare. Okay, we have to verify its land classification. Have we designed a house to build? Yes, there are certain classifications for land. Some is just agricultural land, can't be anything else. Some can only be dacha, so it can only be a very basic dwelling. Another is, you know, is a full-blown buildy housey kind of stuff. I think some can only be commercial as well. So yes, you do need to verify exactly what it is if you're buying land. A lot of people are going to get caught out with that. A lot of people are going to buy land because it's cheap, thinking that they can build on it. It's like farms. There's so many quirks. You really have to understand what you're doing and find out, you know, exactly what you can and can't do. But I think there's farms, you buy a farm or a small holding or something, you can't build a house on it. There's something. A lot of people are going to come unstuck. There's a lot of people doing that sort of thing. No names. We are bringing 10 dogs with us and some personal effects. Not sure if we will have to pay customs taxes on the belongings. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. My gut feeling tells me yes, but I don't know for certain because I turned up with a suitcase. So I sold all my belongings. It was very hard initially. It was like, oh God, I've had this for X amount of years and da da da. You know, the only important things I've got in my life are photographs, a few documents, my dad's watch, which without doubt was the single most precious thing to me in my entire life, which I've entrusted that to my son. It's not an expensive watch. Trust me, it's probably worth 20 quid, but it's worth everything to me. And yeah, a laptop and some other stuff. You know, you get attached to possessions because that's the Western way. You know, we're told, oh, strive and you've got to get the next TV and you've got to get better this and better that. So you end up getting attached to materialistic stuff. And it was really liberating to be able to just go, nope, give it away, sell it, do whatever. Literally cut everything down to the bone. Had a big garage sale a few times, got rid of everything, and just came with a suitcase, and it was lovely. Absolutely brilliant. You know, we've bought everything we need out here. Yes, okay, fridge freezer is a lot cheaper in the UK than it is here. This particular one, I've got one with an ice maker, etc., etc. And it would have been a lot cheaper in the UK, but by the time I'd shipped it here, paid import duty on it, paid to ship it, what's the point? Rather just buy a new one out here, come with 5 years warranty, what do I care? Same with the TV. So, yeah, for us, selling it was the way to go. 10 dogs, yeah. Free healthcare in Canada? Nope, not even close. Maybe for chemo and a broken arm cast. Majority of medical you need secondary coverage. Yeah, go and check out my healthcare videos if you want to know about healthcare in Russia. It's peanuts. Oh God, 1,450 square feet. Nice, there's a lot of marijuana here, it sucks. Ugh. I think that's the idea, isn't it? I think that's what you got to do with it. Suck on it, don't you? I found out it's weird to ask a Russian, how are you doing? No, maybe as a direct translation, yeah, but Kak Dila is, you know, Privyat Kak Dila, which is, hi, how are you? So, don't know, maybe as a direct translation, but no, not at all. Chris, speed up. You're doing great. Jason, I'm drowning, man. Throw me a life raft. You don't like hypocrisy, that's why you like Russia. I just like straight shooting, you know, I cannot be doing with bullshit. I can't be doing with fake people at all. I have zero tolerance for idiots. My circle of friends is extremely small for that reason. My circle of friends are people that I trust. absolutely. And it's a very small circle of friends. So I cannot be doing, I learnt long ago, you know, I had nearly 1,000 Facebook friends, and I've got less than 2 handfuls now. So, not friends, just people that like to call you a friend for what, you know, they can get out of you. And, you know, I learnt that a long time ago. So I just have no time for fake people. And the minute I sense that anyone is slightly fake or disingenuous, gone. Don't even have a conversation. I just delete, move on, see you later. Don't even give it a second thought. So yeah, I'm pretty ruthless like that, but I find my life is a lot better because of it. Florida is a disaster in the making. It's where I live. Eek. Yeah. I mean, I haven't been there, so I can only comment on the countless videos on YouTube from various places in the States, and yeah, I've got to say some of it looks horrific. You know, it blows your mind, doesn't it? But you have to understand this is all on purpose. This isn't just bad management. This is all part of a plan. This is all by design. This is all to do with the financial system. That's what it's all about. You know, every 100 years or so, the financial system resets, and that's where we are. So that's what this is all about. Anton, I have no idea what that says, but thanks. We call Chicago Iraq, yeah. Iraq? Iraq, we call it. Chirac, yeah. Anton, I have no idea what that says either, but thanks again, I think. 2.4 acres is great space. Sounds like it. No idea how big an acre is. Don't flame me, I've never needed to know. Can somebody tell me what Anton's saying? And should I delete him? What incentives do you think Russian government has to provide to attract young professionals to Russia? Good question. You'll have to look at the Kremlin site and see what tax breaks there are, incentives, blah, blah, blah. What I can tell you from the outside is if you're in the West as a youngster looking for a career path, it's probably going to be very difficult based on the unemployment level alone. Here, unemployment is next to zero. So I can tell you from my own experience that if you have some skills, whatever they are, in whatever industry, there's a job here, without a doubt. And some of them are very well paid. So, but as for actual official incentives, don't know. You will need to look at the Kremlin website and government sites to find that out, I'm afraid. Anton, I'm sorry, but you keep writing in Russian and I can't read it. So, and I'm not even sure that's Russian because there's no space, it's all like one word. So, let's do that. I might have done something really bad then. He might have been really complimentary. But can all real estate agents be trusted to guide you right concerning buying a house? Seems some datches are houses and some are considered farmland. I'm going to ask this. Have you ever met a real estate agent that you could trust? Ever? In any country? Because my experience with real estate agents is based around the UK. And I wouldn't trust one of them as far as I can throw them. They're all a bunch of snakes because they're salesmen, they work on commission. So they'll tell you anything and then fob you off and give you a story afterwards and lots of apologies, but you'll still be screwed. So, I mean, simple answer to that, Jason, is can you trust anybody that you've never met before that works on commission? Chris, please remind all subscribers to monitor the subscription status. I have been unsubscribed by YouTube from your channel and that of Sam in Russia and Countryside Acres. Wow. Okay. Well, the joys of YouTube. I found that as well, I must admit. I did find that I would get unsubscribed from certain channels. I think it's got to do something with if you don't watch videos from certain subscriptions for a while, they just kind of drop off. But YouTube does weird and wonderful things. A couple of people have wrote to me this week and asked why I've removed their comments from YouTube, and I haven't. So if you use any kind of bad language, if you mention certain words like the NAZI word or anything like that in a comment, it will get, I won't even see it. YouTube pounces on it. If you put links into the comments, gone. Occasionally stuff will turn up in a held for review folder, which we have as content creators. We have a YouTube studio, and there's a section in there where you can click to review any comments that have been held, not posted, for you to look at and decide whether you want to delete them, approve them, you know, that sort of thing. I check that probably once a day. A lot of people probably don't even bother to check it at all, but I do, you know, because I think if somebody's taken the time to write a comment, it's only reasonable that you should at least respond, even if it's just to delete it. But it's very rare that I delete a comment, very, very rare, unless somebody's just being a cock. But I've found so many comments in my held for review folder that are just completely innocent. I mean, completely innocent. But for some reason, the algorithm has gone, oh, I'm not going to publish this, and thrown it in there. So, guys, if you do put a comment in YouTube and you don't see it, chances are it's not me. So please let me know on Telegram. Try changing the wording, reposting it, but it's a really common thing. But yes, thank you, Todd. Please check your subscription. Please watch my videos, all of them, at least 3 times, maybe 4, from the beginning, like the 7 bridge, and then go back to the start and start watching again. It's even happened with some of the Thai channels to which, has it really? Some of the Thai channels, are these the special Thai channels? Come on, Todd. Are you sure? I just called to say how love you, Mother Russia. Pilot play. Yeah, do you know what? I love this place. I do. You know, I actually had an interview this week. I was interviewed by a lovely lady from RTV1. Nothing political at all. Just, you know, about life in general. You know, how am I here? And as I said to her, and I'll say to you guys the same thing, I didn't fall out of love with the UK, not at all. But I did fall in love with Russia, and I fell in love with Russia before the current situation. And the world was a completely different place. It really was. You know, when we came here in October 21, we were just coming to, you know, another country on holiday. There was a lot going on behind the scenes at that time. But, you know, the rest of the world, us minions, didn't see it. So if I'd known then what I know now, no, because what I know now is eyes open. Had I known back then that it was, you know, this conflict was going to start, etc., and I hadn't been to Russia, then definitely I would have absolutely thought twice. I would have still come here to visit, but, you know, it wouldn't have been with the intention of moving here or building or anything like that. But I think once I came here and had a look, just like I did, my reaction would be the same. So yeah, I think I would still no matter what, I'd still come here, because once you're here, you realise that it is nothing like you've been told or you expect. It's the list without the flags. Ah, thank you. So Anton was posting the list, but without the flags. Yeah, the trouble is there's no spaces in between the words, so it just looks like gobbledygook, especially when you can't read Russian, which I can't. So sorry, Anton. I absolutely, I put you in timeout. I put you on a naughty step so you can't post for about 20 minutes. Sorry. Wonder if I can unpost you. Oh. We are Canadians, but we live. Okay. Thanks for mentioning that I am currently studying land surveying in Canada. Okay. Sounds like a good skill that would be very useful in Russia. Anton is enumerating the names of different countries with some miraculous purpose. Yeah, sorry, Anton. I fried you. Chris, per your request, Anton cites in since, don't know what that is. Okay, Anton is, yeah, I've roasted Anton. I've cooked him over the fire. Shall I go and uncook him? Let's see if I can uncook him. Bear with, callers. There he is. Anton, I'm really sorry. That might have. I don't know. It might have. Right, where are we? Spicy Bean, you will watch my videos 4 times. I said 5. Thank you. I'll hold you to that. Todd, no way not loses subscribers all the time, and he's an old fan like me. Vlogs daily, yeah. It's YouTube. You've just got to accept that it's not going to necessarily run smoothly. Stuart, nice to see you. Sorry about the Telegram debacle. No idea what was going on. Not a clue. I just had a simple screen, people's names. I could see who was there. I couldn't tell whether anybody could hear me or not. I would see people raising their hand because they wanted to speak. I'd open the microphone so they could speak. Couldn't hear anything. It's tech. You know me and tech. This is challenging. But I can get this to work-ish. But Telegram, but I think this is better. You can see me. I can't see you. It just means you've got to type. It would have been nice to have had a chat with people, but you know, guys, if you ever do want a chat, you know, if you've got a few questions, I mean, some people send me an email and it's got 15 questions in. The email they get back from me is, please join my Telegram group, message me so that I can video call you or leave you a voice message, because I'm a terrible typer, absolutely awful. So yeah, if you've got lots of questions, then join Telegram and just message me, and we can either do backwards and forwards voice chats, or I'm more than happy to call you on just an audio call or a video call, and hopefully answer your questions. If it's about my region, where I live, why we came here, whatever, you know, the price of bread, very cheap, by the way. Anything you like, absolutely anything. Weird as it sounds, I thought I was just visiting Russia, but it felt like coming home. No, doesn't sound weird at all, Stuart. Not at all. It does. Yeah. I don't think of it any other way. It's bizarre. I mean, the only place in the UK that I ever felt at home was where I was born. And that was weird. That was a very deep connection, which I didn't realise until I actually went back many, many years later. And I was standing in the harbour of this particular town, and I rang my mum and said, guess where I'm standing? And it was very emotional for me. But that's the only place I've ever felt connected to, ever. You know, I've lived my whole life in the southeast in a particular town, and I've never felt connected to it. Not at all. Spent most of my life trying to get out of it, either going out on motorbikes or touring the country or touring Europe or off with race teams or clay pigeon shooting or whatever. I just spent most of my time trying to get out of it. So never felt a connection to it, but I do here. I absolutely do. So yeah, definitely not weird. I understand exactly what you mean. Greetings from Jutland, Denmark. Sebastian, thank you very much. Greetings to you too, Jutland. Blimey. Denmark. We've got a good old mixed bunch, I think, in tonight. Where are you all from? Sebastian set the tone. Where else have we got? Ciao from Roma, Italy. Giorgio, Roma, Italy. Ciao, ciao. There's a lovely Italian guy in the UK that does a live stream, pretty much 2 or 3 live streams every day. His name's Marco. His channel is called Italiano in Gran Britannia, or Britannia, something like that. I can't remember the Italian pronunciation, but he's a cracking guy. Please go and subscribe to his channel. If you want to have a look around the UK, he goes around London. Yesterday he was in Windsor, so he's actually in Windsor Castle doing a live stream inside Windsor Castle, which was brilliant because I haven't been inside Windsor Castle, been outside it, stayed outside it, but never been inside. So that was really cool. And then he went on a boat trip down the Thames. I think it was Thames. Might have been. Anyhow, went on a boat trip. That was really cool. It was live streaming from the boat. And yeah, you know, you get to see the good and the bad. He'll literally film on his way to work. He'll walk to work a different route each day, and he'll film on his way. He does travel about a bit. He's recently come back from Italy, went back to his hometown. But he is a cracking guy, really nice guy. So please, if you get a chance, go and look at his channel. Tell him Chris sent you. Yeah, very interesting. Like I say, just a really lovely guy. You can tell he's got a proper heart, you know, real friendly guy. So, yeah. Ciao, bonjour, здравствуйте, hello. Even the tech founders can't work their own products. True story. I'm a techie. I'll help you when we get there. Brilliant. Although I'm not sure, you know, ignorance is bliss. Do I want to know any more than I know now? Just be more stuff to go wrong, wouldn't it, really? Hit likes, everyone. Thank you, Jason. Yes, please do. 37 watching. Blimey. You guys are bored, aren't you? Is there nothing else on YouTube? Please don't go. Please. Florida, US, less travelled. California. Okay, so we've got Florida in the house. We've got Denmark in the house. We've got Rome. We've got Canada. Athens in Greece. Awesome. We've got some of your stuff here. Don't know if you want to pop over, pick it up. We've got some of the ancient ruins, which that was something that surprised me actually. This region, there's a lot of Greek ruins. There's a lot of, I don't understand the history. Yeah, there's a lot of history when you've got a country as old as Russia. But yeah, there's some lovely Greek ruins in Napa that are being very well preserved and looked after and you know, uncovered, and yeah, taking good care of them. Came from Canada 3 years ago and never going back. I think this format is better rather than Telegram. Yeah, I think it's better because I can work it. Poor Canada. There is a large Italian community in Crimea. Really? Okay. That's interesting. I'm desperate to go to Crimea. It's so beautiful there. It really is. I'm from all 3 countries listed on my profile. Russia, US and France. Well, hopefully most of you is from Russia. And maybe just like a toe from the US and like a finger from France, maybe. And the rest of you is Russian. I don't know. Certainly help if you want to come here. Tatiana, Great Britain looks so handsome in different videos, and many people in Russia just love. I was talking to a lovely lady today about exactly this. She was very young, about 23, spoke impeccable English, better than me. Her dream to go to England, and you know what, I find that so much with Russians. Western media has done a very, very good job on Russians, convincing them that the West is some magical kingdom and wonderful. And I'll tell you now, any Russians that are watching, don't believe the hype. The UK is lovely from a tourist aspect. You go there for 2 weeks, you go and look at the castles, the stately homes, the parks. You're going to have a wonderful impression of the UK and you think it's brilliant. But if you actually go there to live, you'll see that that's not necessarily the case. And I don't want to hate on my country, but it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a long way from that. There's a lot of people struggling, and it is not the country that I grew up in, not anymore. It's been in massive decline. Yeah. Now, and no minions dislike. Unfortunately, Tatiana, there's a lot of people that are just incapable of critical thought. They believe the narrative, they believe the mainstream media narrative, but also these are the sort of what I call the flag wavers. You know, they stick the flag in their profile. As soon as something happens, they'll stick a flag in their profile. I support, you know, French terrorist attacks. I'm stand with Paris. You know, anything like that. They'll change their profile picture and they'll add a flag. You know, when this current conflict came out, straight in your bio on all your social media, I stand with Ukraine. You know, the country was awash with Ukrainian flags. I went back in May of this year and I never saw one. And I went to a town called Robertsbridge, and 2 years ago I went through Robertsbridge and I thought I'd move to Ukraine, I'll be honest. Every single building in the high street had a Ukrainian flag hanging from it. We support Ukraine, massive, massive, massive. And this is a little tiny little village, just sort of off the beaten track a little bit. The road used to go through it, but then they built a bypass, so it just sort of became a sleepy little village. And we went back in May and there wasn't a single flag there. So very fickle British public, very fickle, but unfortunately very much led by the media. You know, the BBC doesn't lie kind of attitude. And if the media tells them to follow a certain narrative, then that's what they do, like sheep. And it seems that not many people are capable of critical thought nowadays. Some are, but I wish a lot more were. And that's, you know, that's the purpose of channels like this, just to get people to question. That's the whole idea. Just want people to ask questions. I'm not trying to change anybody's perception. I just want people to ask questions. You know, if you're told something, does it ring true? Does it sound right? Poor Canada. There is a large Italian community. Yeah, I've done that. He live streams because producing videos sucks. Well, I did 4 videos today. Nearly did 5, but my battery went flat after 8 minutes into the video. So that was a pain in the ass. And also one of the videos did exactly the same as I did. If you've seen my walk along an Napa seafront video, it's about 40 minutes. Did that twice. Because I walked one way, got to the end and found out that it hadn't recorded. Probably pilot error, I know. So I walked back. I nearly didn't do that video because I had the ump. But I walked back the other way and redid that video. So have a look at that. And if you play it backwards, that's the video you would have got the first time round. But I did exactly the same thing today at one of the places we went. Did a nice video, thought, yeah, that's all right, quite happy with that. And then looked and it hadn't recorded. So, yeah, producing videos does suck. Sometimes, but it's good fun, you know, I enjoy it. And if there's something that I think will interest you guys, or give you an insight, you know, instead of the, here I'm going to say it, I know you've been waiting for it, the snow, bears, gangsters, vodka, horse and cart. So it gives you something different than that perception. Hi from Yucatan. Yucatan, Mexico. Brought up in the UK, lived in the EU, decided to leave the show for more freedom. Enjoy your content. Thank you, Vlad. Thank you very much. Good to listen while exercising. Ugh. Don't come on here and swear like that. Bad language around me like that. Ugh. Ooh, it makes me shudder. I'll just have a drink now. Oh, somebody will be talking about work in a minute. Channel's going to degenerate very quickly. Chris, how many cats do you have right now? I remember you said 5. Yeah, still 5. Still 5. State of this. Don't know if you can see. Look at that thing. I think you can safely say that that one's asleep. Don't know where the others are. Oh. Come on, mate. No, you're not going out, you fool. No, Gizzy, you're not going out. You're not going out, are you? Not at this time of night. Oh. Go and eat food. Annoy Rios. Sorry, got sidetracked. So yeah, 5. 5. I follow many expat channels in Russia. I support Russia 100%. Good to know. Anyone knows the channel Survival Russia, a Danish guy east of Moscow? I haven't heard of it, but there's so many channels. I've watched so many channels pop up in the last couple of months. I think where I'm lucky with my channel is that it's not Moscow. And that's nothing against the guys in Moscow. You know, you live where you live and you video from where you video. But, you know, I'm the only guy in the village. I'm the only English guy down here. Well, in my village, as far as I'm aware. I've not run into another one. And very often we go to somewhere new and I'll be the only English guy that they've seen. I've had a few people say to me, I've never met an Englishman. I'm the same as you. Just speak funny, that's all. But yeah, I guess Moscow is where most people end up, and it's probably work related. They get a job, they go to Moscow. You know, Moscow is Moscow. If you're a city guy, then you will love Moscow or St. Petersburg. You will love it, absolutely. I'm not a city guy. I really am not. I'm a country bumpkin, so yeah, it's not for me. Stuart, the UK's lost. I want out. The England where I was born and grew up has disappeared, and I no longer feel at home here. Is what I wrote to the Russian consulate when I asked about the new visa. Yeah, I get it. Then, hello mate, nice to see you. Hopefully soon we'll grab a beer. Waiting, just saying. Bought a bottle of cognac with your name on it, actually. Bear with people. So this came on recommendation. So I haven't tried it yet. But we did buy 30 litres of wine at the same time. Yeah, 30. I don't drink. Medicinal purposes, you understand. Yeah, mate, say the word, you know the score. More than happy. People, then if you have got any questions, especially guys from the US, if you've got any questions about building, buying land, you know, especially in the Sochi area, Ven has got his own channel, Venkor, V-E-N space K-O-R. Go and look him up. We've done a live stream together. He's a cracking guy, spot on. He is my kind of guy, shoots from the hip, says it how it is. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually, as he says, grabbing a beer. Yeah, we can definitely, I think me and him can talk for hours, but please go and look his channel up. It's a great channel, loads of videos. Oh my God, he's an absolute video whore. He really is, a complete video whore. What the hell are these monkeys doing? Look at this lot. Look at them. There's one in the bloody sink, look. Help me. Jesus Christ. Ripple. Oh, I'll give up. You pick them up. Hello, Luna. Pick them up, you put them on the ground, they climb back up again. Yeah, please go and check out Ven's channel. Great channel, amazing videos. Like I said, he's a complete video whore. And really, really useful guy. Very, very informative when it comes to buying land. Got his own construction company. Very informative. No Rios. Oh, madness. Where? I wish this conflict will stop. So many people want to go to Russia to see family, but it's almost impossible. I think because the Russian embassy is being bombarded by Ukraine supporters. I don't know what's impossible. Obviously, it's relevant to you and your country, I guess. I mean, I'm 60 miles from Crimea. So according to the West, I'm in a war zone. I know there's a war going on. I'm not stupid. Well, it's not a war. There's a conflict. Everybody calls it. Everybody in the West calls it a war. Everybody in Russia knows it isn't. Not yet. It's not gotten that step yet. Call the video lost in an appa. Which one? Which one? I can call most of them lost in an appa, to be honest. We're getting old, and in Canada soon you'll require a jab or an implant to get healthcare. So it's time to go, yeah, sorry, nah. No. They start mandating that you have jabs. We had that nonsense. Yeah. It's evil. The world's turning evil, and you just need to be away from it, in my view. Nice, looking forward to trying it. Amen, brother. Get out of it, cats. God. Go away. Stuart, I think the degrade of society is a lot worse in the UK than here. Yeah, I'll go along with that, I think. Sebastian, I think you could be right there. Charles Howard, is it difficult to travel outside of the main cities if you speak English and a little Russian at this point? Difficult to travel. So I'm not in a main city. I'm I'm in a village outside of Anapa, which is on the coast of the Black Sea, 60 miles from Crimea, across the water from Turkey, and 300 kilometers up the coast from Ven, who's in Sochi. I don't find it difficult at all been on trains, got a car, travel about. So no, if you're wondering whether you've got to be careful about the language or how you speak, and you're going to find hostility, not in Russia. I haven't seen it. That was one of the questions I got asked in this interview this week. I haven't seen one incident of crime or violence since I've been here, not one. So hopefully that's answered your question, Charles. Yeah, you're not going to find it difficult. You might find it not so straightforward, but you won't find it difficult. I don't speak any Russian. Well, choo-choo, my linky. Emirates flies direct Canada to Moscow. Yeah, so there's a lot of places that do go direct to Moscow, and also to Sochi. Remember, depends whereabouts in Russia you're going, doesn't it? Sochi is right, obviously down south, so may not necessarily be a good destination for you, but for us, it's a lot nearer than Moscow. We came into Moscow when we first came here, and we then was on a train for nearly 2 days to get to this region, whereas Sochi is between 5 and 7 hours by car, about 5 hours on the train. You can use Google Translate anywhere in Russia. It will help definitely. Yes, I rely on Google Translate a lot. There are other translates as well. But what I like about Google Translate is the camera. So you can just use the camera over any menus and it will translate it, or I used it in Gelendzhik. If you have a look again on my Telegram channel, when I posted a video from Gelendzhik, I did a translate of one of the memorials there. So I use it for things like that, which is cool, but only as good as your internet connection. You've got to remember, if you haven't got any internet, and certainly in our region sometimes you won't have, because current situations may dictate that the internet is turned off in this region for certain periods of time, and yeah, so then it won't work. No, Rios, you're not going out. No, you'd be a nightmare. I'll never get you back in. So I've caught up. Yay! Nearly. Then, a lot of Russians speak English. Well, somewhat English, and will always help. Yeah, absolutely. As I was just saying, I spoke to a lovely lady today. Spoke perfect English. She's 23. So I'm going to be seeing a lovely lady tomorrow, Oksana. So won't really comment any more on that until I've met her and found out what I can and can't say about, etc., etc. But she speaks perfect English. So really, really good. I'm looking to do something with the channel because I've had, based off of my alphabet video, I've had a lot of people contact me. I won't say a lot, but quite a few contacting me about learning Russian, speaking Russian, English, swapping, that kind of thing. And I'm thinking maybe doing some sort of association with the channel where I have an English-speaking Russian teacher who would like to partner with the channel, that I then film, maybe make some content about the lessons, obviously promote their business, and I'd be more than happy to do that if that's something that works for both of us. And I'll be very upfront about it, let you guys know the full, what it is. There won't be any underhand cash deals or any of that nonsense. It will literally just be, I will promote, a particular person if I think that, they're good, and I'll find out whether they're good myself. So that's something I'm thinking about. There's a lot to be sort of worked out to make sure that it's beneficial for not just me, but for obviously the Russian teacher, you know, if that comes to pass. But that will be, you know, a bit of an affiliation maybe. We'll see. Watch this space. Because a lot of people say, oh, where shall I learn Russian? So, yeah. Direct from Canada, I have to check that airline out. Notes Google Flights doesn't allow me to book flight to Russia. Yeah. Come on, let the cat out. No, I'm not letting the cat out. It's just been a dick. It's not going out. He knows he doesn't go out this time of night. If he goes out this time of night, he stays out all night. And then he's asleep on the back door in the morning, grizzling. Rios, shut up. No. It's difficult, only the first 100 years, and then you get used to it. Yeah. Yeah. It's... Go and watch my alphabet video if you haven't. It's funny. The comments have been amazing, and I'm looking forward to doing part 2 of that. That won't be a part 3, 4, 5 and 10, it will be 2. There will be part 1 and part 2 of that, and that will be it. But the first one is the Russian alphabet, my take on it. If you've seen it, you'll understand why I'm grinning. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. It's been hugely popular, and it's still rattling up the views. It was good fun. And yeah, you know, a lot of people have said it's been really helpful, which is amazing. A lot of Russians have told me that I've got the shirt and the shirt around the wrong way. Sounds the same to us. This is one of the things that I want to get across in part 2. So yeah, Chris, your pronunciation of Russian words, the ones you use on the stream, sound very natural and correct. Blimey, you're getting there. Don't be shy, keep it up. Yeah, so, Извините, пожалуйста, я английский. Я не говорю по-русски, is what I've been trying to butcher. And apparently that means, please excuse me, I'm English and I don't speak Russian. I used it today. Got a great reaction. She laughed. I'm not sure if she was laughing at my pronunciation or the fact that I managed to cobble that together all by myself. Stuart, would you consider having a speaking club for those of us who don't get that opportunity to speak Russian? It would have to be at a very basic level for me. Do you know, Stuart, I'm open to all sorts of things at the moment. I think what I want to try and do is, with the second alphabet video, I want to talk about maybe partnering up with a Russian teacher and promoting their business on my channel, and saying, hey, look, this is the Plastic Russian official Russian teacher, English speaking, so that obviously they get something out of it. They potentially get online students, can generate some income for them. I get something out of it because I get to learn Russian. You guys get something out of it because you'll get to see it. You know, I'll film it, film my experiences, tell you about it. And there could be spin-offs from that where, you know, we have a Telegram group where people can, you know, start chatting, you know, doing video calls, etc., etc. So a world of possibilities. So yeah, you heard it here first. Coming soon to a town near you, maybe. I swear to God, Rios. Goodbye. I will see you tomorrow. Now, I probably won't sleep because I'll be worrying about the little bugger. There we go. I actually learned Russian in high school. Can still read Russian, but the understanding is 5 to 6%. Yeah, I try and read Russian words as often as I can. So when I'm driving about, I'll try and read towns, but it's very difficult when you're doing, hang on, what's the speed limit usually? 70 kilometers an hour. When you're doing 70, 60, 50 kilometers an hour, they go past a bit quick and I miss them. But I try, I try to read. Yeah, and I always butcher it. I'm going to. That's the thing. I think the important thing that people need to know when they're learning to speak Russian, do not focus on pronunciation. Russians will try to get you to focus on pronunciation because it's their language, and they'll hear you say a word and you go, no, it doesn't sound like that. But if you try and focus on pronunciation, you'll bury yourself, because your tongue will not do what a Russian's tongue does. No, don't do it. But coming from the West as an English speaker, your tongue does different things. So forget about the pronunciation to start with. Forget about the grammar to start with. Learn the alphabet. If you can read the alphabet, you can read Russian, because every word or every letter in a Russian word is pronounced. And if you can read the alphabet, you can then read the words, you can then say the word, because again, every letter is a sound. In the UK, we have A, B, C, D, E, or A, B, K, D, E. In Russia, they just have A, B, K, D, E. So they're not called a letter, they just are a sound. So that makes it a lot easier in that regard. But they've got squiggly things and upside down stuff, and Mexicans riding unicycles, and cats' arses and things, which makes it challenging. Some of you will be laughing now. Some of you won't. Go and watch my alphabet video. You'll get the reference. She, he, they kind of stuff would help. It took me a long time. I thought we were going down a different path then, when you started with the she, he, theys. I thought, here we go, somebody's about to get deleted. But no. Knew the cat wasn't taking no for an answer. No, persistent little thing he is. But I have a secret weapon. I have a bag of Dreamies cat treats, which is cocaine for cats. And yeah, I just shake that by the back door and he'll come running as long as he can hear it. Tony, lovely to see you. Just caught you. What have I missed? Not much, mate, really. Me talking about the new list of countries that's been produced now for the official list. If you want to apply to come to Russia, get a temporary residence permit, you want to know if your country is on the list. So we've been talking about that. That is on my Telegram channel. The list has been translated by Stuart, who's in the chat at the moment, and I've pinned his post. So yeah, you can have a look at the list on the channel. Anton, who was in the chat, was actually putting the list up, but because I'm an idiot, I just thought he was spamming the chat with a load of flags. So I put him in timeout, put him on the naughty step, and then everybody told me, no, he was just... So yeah, once again, sorry, Anton. Anton got smoked. But yeah, Tony, you know, just all sorts of chat, really. All sorts of weird and wonderfuls. Cats have been... Need a little zen moment. Little fluffy clouds, cool wet grass. There we go. Seal Boy, obviously a lunatic. Learning Russian has been very fun, to be honest. Like my brain was craving the challenge. Are you mental? Fun. Learning Russian. Some people. Look, do you know what? Brilliant. If if you find it fun, it's going to make life so much easier for you. So yeah, I'm joking, obviously, I'm mocking you, but yeah, I take my hat off to you, because if it's fun, you'll absorb it. I just haven't got to the point where it's fun yet. I just find it mentally draining, and my brain just goes, no, doesn't work. So yeah, after about 10 minutes, my brain's going, no. And my brain is more stubborn than I am, if that's possible. So it just goes, my inner chimp just goes, don't want to play this game anymore. And that's it, it's over. Then we have another go the next day. The pronunciation is not very important. If you know the words, people understand you. Thank you. Exactly what I was trying to say, but made a horlicks of it. Yeah, that's it. Persistence is the key to training. You are learning well, Chris. Yeah, no, I ain't. I'm trying, but I need to try harder, I've been told. But I need to get to that point where it's fun and I'm looking forward to it. Whereas at the moment, I'm just thinking, I'd rather shove wasps up my arse. But, oh, that's in regards to the cat. Yeah, he is very persistent, and I'm training him. So yeah, those cat treats. Yeah, they're all going to be 20 stone, these cats, but yeah, or vice versa. Thought beer was the same in any language. Piva. Da, piva. Or vino. We bought 30 litres of vino. We've got red, white, blue, green, pink. We've got all sorts of vino. Bought some rosé in a bottle. The bottle's called Honey. There with. Is it this? Yeah. Rosé and I don't know, but it's really nice. It's about £1.80 for a bottle. That's really nice. It's just very easy to drink. It's not high in alcohol. It's just a nice thing to have with your evening meal before you start on the proper stuff. Got some vodka kicking around as well somewhere. Haven't had a drink for a couple of days. Been good. Right. What's the time? 11 o'clock here. 9 o'clock where the UK is. Any news about Russia's response to that long-range missile strike? I'm not aware of the long-range missile strike. So, I don't know. I've been on this stream. If it's a recent thing, I haven't seen it. Drone. Yeah. I think Russia's attitude towards drones is that's not a red line. You have to remember that every red line that the West has said that they've crossed has been a red line that the West has produced themselves. Because Russia hasn't produced red lines. Russia didn't say delivering F-16s was a red line. Russia didn't say that delivering Abrams tanks was a red line. Russia didn't say that attacking missiles was a red line. None of that. That's all the West saying it's a red line. So the West says delivering Abrams tanks will be a red line that mustn't be crossed by the West. So they deliver the tanks and then go, we crossed Putin's red line. Imaginary, made up gobbledygook. Russia's never said that. You have to listen to the words that Putin uses. But what he has said is if NATO starts sending long-range missiles into Russia, that is an existential threat and that is an attack by NATO. That is not Ukraine. And there is a difference. So, yeah, let's hope. All we can do is hope that at some point somebody thinks this is madness, we need to stop, and stop going down a path to try and provoke Russia into something that they really will regret. You know, I live here, I see what's about. And the West thinks that Russia doesn't have any military. And the West thinks that Russia is stealing chips out of washing machines and using shovels and stuff. You've heard all the nonsense. I can tell you now, that's crap, because I've seen it. So I'm quite close to it, so I see a lot of stuff. And I will never film it, but you can take it from me that Russia isn't stealing chips out of washing machines, and they're not in any short supply. Take that from me. There's stuff here, and lots of it. Right, yeah, drone. They said it was a drone, but I'm doubting that. Yeah, don't know. Can't comment. I won't comment on that until I have actually found out what it is from the various sources that I follow. Are you English yourself? Why do you not like other Brits' comments and ignore them? Pardon? If anybody can explain that one to me. Oscar Deutsch. As you are English yourself, why do you not like other Brits' comments and ignore them? If somebody can explain that to me, I'll be very curious to hear what Oscar is on about. The West has a lot of news to cast. Yeah. They call it news. Right, let's get rid of the troll. And bye-bye, troll. Gone. I love this, he's great. He caught a bullet. So I moderate a couple of channels on Telegram, and I've done a lot of that over the years, moderated chat groups and stuff. And I just find that, you know, it's relatively easy if you're straight with people, if you just tell them, look, very simple rules, just don't, you know, just be respectful to people. If you're going to come on a chat group and start mouthing off and swearing at people and attacking them verbally and stuff like that, not going to cut, not going to wash with me, I'll just delete you. Haven't got time for keyboard warriors at all. And it's really easy, and that's just rubbish, isn't it, really? You know, so I just don't even bother getting into a conversation because it's nonsense, isn't it? Sure, you guys have seen I've read every comment. So yeah, Tony, you're right, the West has a lot of news to cast, but it's not news. We're just programmed to believe that it's news, but it's not. It's a one-sided narrative. It is a story from one side. That's how it would be better phrased. Here is the story from one side at 6 o'clock. That's what they should say. Thanks for the stream. Do this more. Bye for now. 2 p.m. in Canada. Spicy Bean, thank you for joining the stream. I try and do streams at different times of day fairly often. So thanks for hanging it out till 2 in the morning. Hardcore. It just seems strangely coincidental how once these long-range missiles just a couple of weeks ago and then a big strike happens in the interior of Russia. Seems suspect. Yeah, I mean, it depends what you call a big strike, I suppose. You've got to remember that these big strikes are, in the grand scheme of things, a pinprick on a bear. It has no bearing on the current conflict. It doesn't change the direction of the current conflict. You know, the Kursk incursion, has that changed the direction of the current conflict? No. The West would have you think differently. Some massive victory and execute? No. Just thousands of Ukrainian soldiers killed and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of equipment destroyed. You know, yeah, there's always a narrative that's produced around all this stuff. It's not always reality. It's very rarely the real story. So, yeah. Do you have any recommendations for learning the alphabet? It's going slow thus far. Yes, Charles, my video. Have a look at the Russian alphabet, my take on it, in my YouTube channel. Have a look at it. I've had a lot of people, and I've done it partly tongue-in-cheek, but I've had a lot of people contact me and say it's been really helpful for an English speaker. For Russians, they're just laughing their head off. They think it's hilarious, which is great. But for an English speaker, it's a completely different challenge. You know, when you've spent your whole life thinking that a C is a C, and then you come to Russia and find that a C is no longer a C, it's an S, and that's the tip of the iceberg, then it really messes with your brain. So, Charles, have a look at that video. It might help you, but don't take it as absolutely gospel. The sh sound I've got the wrong way round. It's hard and soft, and I've got it soft and hard. Or I don't know. But Russians keep trying to tell me that sh and sh is the difference between ship and sheep. And if you can hear the difference between that, good luck, because there isn't in the UK. As an English speaker, SH makes the sh sound, and that's it. The other letters follow it and change the word, but it starts as sh. Ship, shower, sheep, shop, Sean. It's all the same. But Russians use that as a hard and a soft, and that's one thing that us English speakers will struggle with for a while, forever probably. But yeah, have a look at that, Charles. If nothing else, it will give you a laugh. Yeah, but in terms of damage, a drone can be a grenade or 100 kilo satchel charge. Of course. A basic grammar book is very helpful. I think writing and doing exercise is very important. The brain remembers what writes. Okay. Charles, you watched it. It was great. Okay. Well, watch it again. I'm a genius. You're welcome. I'm a genius, I know. That was a classic. Gotta love the sombrero. Sombrero. Ah, yes. Yeah, the letter F. Yeah. That's just, honestly, I didn't make that up for that video. That's genuinely how I've been learning the alphabet. It's like the last letter in the alphabet on that particular video, which is a backwards R to us English speakers, which is Yar. Always reminds me of a pirate, and that's how I remember it, because it's Yar, it's R, R. So I think of a pirate. Has no bearing on letter, but as soon as I see Yar, I know that it, you know, the backwards R makes that sound, because I associate it with a pirate, which has no relevance to that at all. It's just the way my brain works. Works for me. Bye everybody. Get some sleep before going to bed. Gonna get some sleep before going to bed. Cool. Now that's a good trick. Well done. Alexander, thank you. Thanks for joining us. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that. See, there you go, seal boy. The W versus the W with a tail thing I've heard described as shut versus shit. Yeah, okay. But sh-ut and sh-it, it's exactly the same. The letters that follow sh just change the word. They do not change the way that sh sounds. So Russians will explain that and say, oh, this is the difference, but there is no difference. Ship and sheep, just because you're altering the letters after sh doesn't change sh. And that's, you know, that's the point that a lot of Russians miss, because they're used to making stuff harder and softer. It's not in our language. It's not in our alphabet. You know, we have 26 letters, no symbols, no hards, no softs, no silence, you know, no softening B's and none of that. We don't have it. We don't have any of that. We have 26 letters. And if we put two letters together, SH, PH, for example, it makes a certain sound, and that's it. So, shut and shit, to an English person, the sh part is exactly the same. Yeah, I don't hear, yeah, exactly. You know, the difference between a hard sh and a soft sh, to a Russian, they will hear the difference, but I'll tell you that if you say the word that that's relative to, whether it's hard or soft, they still understand you. So, you know, I've heard some amazing variations on Zdravstvuyte. I've heard Stresti, Strast. I've heard all sorts of variations of that. So, yeah, you know, if you try and get it right, it's good enough. What about sugar? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Welcome to the quirks of the English language. I should just deal with him. That was highly satisfying. That was God's gift to me for tonight. Thank you. Delivered to me on a plate, literally on the worktop in front of the laptop. Made my night, that. Yeah, like I say, welcome to the quirks of the English language. You know, if you want to go down that route, what about xylophone? Explain that one. Sebastian, yeah, good night, Alexander. Once an American tourist said, looking at the word, yeah, Russia, the last two letters are turned the wrong way. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, backwards N, backwards R. Of course it is. But a Russian, an English person would read that as Pocky something. It's like pectopar, one of my favourite words, because I think it was one of the first words I learnt, which is restaurant. But it's written as pectopar, I've said this before. Yeah, they do, Tatiana, yeah. Time to close the windows. Windows are closed. That little bugger sneaked in during the day some point. Thought he'd come out now. Mistake. I was convinced spasiba was two different words for a while because some speakers sounded like spasibo and others sound like spaso. But yeah, it's actually spasiba. See, that's another thing. Russians with an O on the end, it's actually an A. It's not an A, but it you know, it sounds spasiba, not spasibo. We would read that as spasibo, but it's not. The hardest thing that I think the first thing that English speakers should do with Russian is try to separate the words. And that might sound really stupid and really simple, but if you listen to Russian speak for the first time, you will not know what's hit you, because it just sounds like a machine gun. You will not hear where one word finishes and another one starts. It just goes brrr, and you will just go, what? And it's just gobbledygook. So really focus on learning the alphabet and then being able to separate the words, because once you can start to do that, then you can start to hear words in a sentence, and then you can start to hear the occasional words. And this is where I am. The words that I know, I'm now hearing in sentences, so I know what the conversation is about. So that's what I would say to people. Alphabet, and then listen to Russian and start separating the words in the sentence, listening to where they start and finish. when I first saw Cyrillic, I said, why are there numbers and what is the tree? Why are there numbers? Yeah, exactly. Why are there numbers? Yeah, the number 3 is the number 3 in numerical terms. But if you see the number 3 in a word, it's a Z. Russia, baby. Why not? And what is the tree? Not sure what the tree is. I'd probably call that a Mexican riding a unicycle or a cat's ass. It's probably one of those two. As every English person knows, Gotti is pronounced fish. What? Stuart, what? Stuart, move away from the booze. I have no idea. I know I probably should, because I've seen that written. And it might have been you that wrote it, which is probably why I didn't understand it then, and I don't understand it now. Let me know what an idiot I'm being. Right, so Lenkas, sorry, Privyat, anyway, Privyat. I was writing so much Russian that I went to write something by hand in English recently, and it took some few tries to get my backwards end to turn back around. Lucky you. I wish I could write it naturally. I have to think about everything. Chris, is it water damage above your patio door just behind you? So, that there. So that's an interesting story. But just about here, when the guy came to fit the curtain rail, he drilled through the air conditioning pipe. And I said to him, after I'd shown him the video of where the air conditioning pipes were embedded in the wall, because the air conditioning unit wasn't fitted at the time, the pipes had just been run. So this was very early on. And I showed him the video so that he knew where the pipes were. And then he drilled into it. And obviously it wasn't gassed, so we couldn't tell. And I said, oh, you've drilled through the pipe. And he went, no, I haven't. And I went, yeah, you have. And he went, no, I haven't, honestly. I stopped as soon as I felt it and blah, blah, blah. So we're like, oh, okay. So we had the air conditioning installed, and that was in the winter, so we didn't use it. And then we used it in the summer, and yeah, it came through. So we had the air conditioning guys out who installed it, and we said, it's leaking. And they took it apart and went, yeah, it's got a hole in it, and there's a perfect drill hole through one of the pipes. So yeah, it is a bit of a mess at the moment, but we'll put it right at some point. It's a just job, you know. We'll just get round to it at some point. So yeah, nice to see you, Lala, but yeah, it is. We need to do that, amongst other things. Same story with English without pauses for foreign speakers. Yeah, again, English are very lazy with the language. We try and shorten it as much as possible. People don't enunciate correctly anymore. And it's a language that is just, when you hear two English, speakers talking to each other, it just gets chopped up, and a lot of the sounds aren't sounded. And unfortunately, this is what English teachers in Russia, Russian teachers that are teaching English, they focus a lot on grammar, and English people don't. We don't speak like that. So that's one of the things that I think is important for Russian English teachers to understand is Russian, very much grammar is a big part of it, and it's taught in the schools, and it's really, really important, whereas with English, it ain't. It ain't. There you go. Good live. Thanks again. Off to study the alphabet more. Toodles. You're welcome. Thank you very much. GH as in enough. For. Okay. Yeah, okay. O as in women. Yeah, okay. And TI as in station. Yeah, okay. Gossy equals fish. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that definitely needed an explanation, Stuart. For me, you imagine what Russians would have thought of that. So yeah. Oh, the tree, the F. Yeah, see, that's the Mexican riding a unicycle, Seal Boy. It's not a tree. Go and watch my alphabet video, you'll see. Too much French influence in English. Too much French influence in England, I think would be better said. What type of heating do you use in that area? Gas, forced air. In what area, Charles? Our house is all underfloor heating. The air conditioning unit there is a Zanussi. Pratt. Zanussi. And it's a heater as well. So it's, what do they call it? Don't know. But it's a heater as well as an air conditioning unit. But the whole house is underfloor heating. Russian does that sometimes too with like milk, so the O sound like an A. Yeah, yeah, Moloko. Moloko? I can't remember how to say milk. Tired. Furby, no in the language. Yeah, no, I was joking. Too much French influence in England. They own the electricity companies, I think. What else they own? Gas, I think. They own our energy, basically. And there's lots of other things that the French own in the UK, which is absolute insanity. But there you go. Moloko. Yeah, the O always sounds like A unless there is a bar over it. Okay. Have a look at my alphabet video. Forget the video. Look at the comments. They are absolutely amazing. Once you move past a lot of people telling me I've got the shirt and the shirt around the wrong way, and that I should remember that the cat's arse isn't really a cat's arse, that it should be juk for bug. And if you remember it, then, I mean, that makes a lot more sense than a cat's arse, to be fair. But I didn't know about juk when I learned that particular thing in Russian, but I did know about a cat's arse. So, yeah. Yeah, that's... yeah, you need to read it, but please read the comments because there's so much really, really useful information in the comments. You'll have to wade through them because there's over 800 comments on that video now. It's gone mad. But there are so many people in there that have wrote some really cool stuff, some real insightful stuff. And I will be picking some of those out for part 2. But yeah, there's some really helpful stuff that helps you understand the certain letters and the sounds. That's the Moscow Central accent. In the Northern accent, oh, milk sounds like oh, okay. I'm not even going to attempt to do accents. I can't speak the words, let alone accents. Interesting. Persecuting a cat's arse. Yeah, well, if you haven't seen the video, it's je. You know, you've got this splatted spider affair, which is what I first called it, splatted spider, which is je. Well, I remember it as joppa. And I remember it like that because this splatted spider affair looks like a cat's arse. So hence joppa for us. So that's how I remember it. But then lots of people have told me, no, you should remember it as a bug for Juk, because it looks like a bug, and that makes a lot more sense. But I didn't learn that. I learned Joppa. So when I see that, I think cat's ass, Joppa. So perhaps somebody should have come and told me about bug, but they didn't. So that's it. It's a cat's arse and always will be. You should learn Russian, then teach the Brits your way. Guarantee your students will enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, I find you'll learn anything if it's fun. And I don't take myself too seriously, as you guys know. I try not to take myself too seriously at all. I think the world would be a lot better if more people did that. Accents make things tricky. If an English student happened to hear my accent saying, let's go then, all they would hear is Scotland. Yes. Yeah, I've quoted this before. A friend of mine lives in the north of Scotland. Packing in you two. And, you know, they say things up there like, dinny Ken. Did he Ken? What Ken Dodd? Did he men? What the? Dinny Ken. So yeah, and that's the thing with the UK. Our regional dialects are so, you know, you can travel 500 miles in the UK and hear 20 different accents. You know, and a lot of English people can do a lot of different accents because you just hear it, you know. But funnily enough, Russians don't seem to hear the different English accents. They still, the ones that can speak English can still understand it. I think it confuses the English people more. Oh, I didn't know that Nakaru. Nakaru? Who's Nakaru? Nope. Lost me on that one, mate. How many days did it take you to go through 800 comments, Chris? This is how sad I am, but I just do value people's input. I do value the fact that people have subscribed to my channel. I really genuinely do. And I think I should make every effort that I can. I can't answer every comment, but I make every effort to try to answer every comment, if that makes sense. So every day, several times a day, I will look through my emails. I will see the ones that relate to the YouTube videos. I will click on those and I'll go and reply to those individual comments. And sometimes it's just a like, or a like and a heart. That's two reasons. It's one, that it is me interacting to show that, you know, I've appreciated your comment and I've, even if I've just liked it. But two, it shows me that I've already responded to that. But I do believe that if somebody has taken the time to watch your video and subscribe to your channel and put a comment, if you can't go and just click like on their comment and just say, oh, I haven't got the time, or my channel's too big, or whatever, then you're a bit of an arse. I don't know, you know, people are different, aren't we? You know, I just feel that if somebody's taken the time, you know, it's like tonight, you guys are taking the time to come and tune into the live. So, you know, a lot of people will just set a timer, won't they? I'm going to do a live for 40 minutes, and at 40 minutes, right, that's it for the night, see you later, bye-bye. I always say to the wife, I'm only going to be on for an hour or so. Here we are. So yeah, I think it's only right if people take the time. You should try and take the time, and the answer to that question is, I do it every day. Every single day I go through and answer as many comments as I can. No, that's not fair. Every single day I answer every comment. Occasionally one will slip through. One will get held in the review folder and I won't see it till later. Sometimes YouTube doesn't notify me that I've got a comment and I'll stumble across it. What I often don't see is a comment that is a reply to a reply, if that makes sense. So somebody will have replied and said something, and then they replied to that comment. So YouTube doesn't always notify me of those comments. So sometimes I don't see those, and I'll stumble across them, you know, days or even weeks later. But as soon as I see it, I'll comment on it. You know, and like I say, even if it's just a tick, I think it's only right. It's only fair. It's the right thing to do, in my view. Or when we say, did you hear? It's just jeet. Did you eat? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. We shorten everything, don't we, in the UK? What'd you eat? I told you guys the story about the Manchester guys. The first time I heard proper Manc accent, we were racing in the grounds of Manchester City Football Stadium in the car park, and there was two guys. One was one side of the fence, one was the other, and literally it was zapping, and the other one not. That was the conversation. What's happening? And nothing. And I was like, what'd they say? And you know, I've got friends around the country, and I have some of them I need to really be face to face to listen to, you know, be able to lip read and understand. Scotland, freedom, Scottish lift. Chris, do your cats cause chaos through the night? Where do they all sleep? So, Lala. Some of them sleep in that thing, the cat hotel. Rios, the black cat that I've let out at the moment, just will either sleep outside all night, or he will sleep in the bed with us, because otherwise he screams the place down, drives you mad. Rosie will curl up in a spot wherever, away from these three idiots, because she has zero tolerance for them. She's definitely the princess of the house and is not afraid to let these idiots, but they're like little gangsters. They gang up. If she's eating, they'll come at her from three sides, one at a time, nice and slowly. And it's a bit like a lion eating a carcass and then a pack of hyenas. It's the same principle, just with furry cute things. So, yeah. Same in Danish, Silboy. Half the letters isn't pronounced, yeah. Well, I remember the sombrero, and I can't remember what I did 5 minutes ago. Welcome to my world, Tony. Is there anywhere in Western Russia where it doesn't snow in winter? South, east, west, Western Russia. That's where I am. I don't know. Snowed here last year, and that's normal. Ven would answer that better. He's down in Sochi, but I'm sure it snows there. Well, it definitely snows there. They've got mountains and you can go skiing. But whether it actually snows in Sochi Marina, I don't know. I would assume it does. It's only 300 kilometres down there. So I think we don't get snow like the rest of Russia does by any stretch. You know, snow here in Anapa last year was very similar to if we get snow in the UK. About the same, you know. It's quite fun. Big flakes though. Huge flakes. Just boom, 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 boom. But a couple of days gone. So maybe Danish and my northwestern USA accent shares roots. Bernard Shaw has a brilliant play about English accents. A famous musical, My Fair Lady, is based on it. Tatiana, this is a real thing in the UK. You know, all of these literary things just aren't taught in schools anymore. Not that I'm aware of, you know. They're just trying to dumb down the population, aren't they? Make everybody thick, like me, with a capital F. Gotta go. Thanks, Chris, and everybody. Most enjoyable. Stuart, thank you. Nice to see you. Very good contributor on the channel. So always a pleasure, Stuart. Thank you. Elevator recognition. What? Sorry, Cuzkin Papa. I have no clue. Sebastian Nakaru Hitamura is one of the viewers in the chat. Ah, really? I haven't seen Nakuru Hitamura, which means that he, I don't know, I haven't seen him. Can you tell me why dog's bollocks is a good thing in English? Well, it's the dog's bollocks, isn't it? No. Not without giving it some thought. It's just the mutt's nuts. The dog's bollocks. What do we mean by that? Where does that come from? There's a lot of things in the English language that come from places that most people don't really know about. Like posh. Do you know where the word posh comes from? The dog's bollocks. Don't know. A lot of Cockney rhyming slang influences English as well. So no, I can't. You'll have to probably Google it to find out the origins of that. I actually think so, just like a lot of English words derived from Danish. In Sochi, Crimea, Gelendzhik, it snows very seldom. Okay, well, Gelendzhik isn't that far from us, and apparently it snows here every year. So, I don't know. Kuzkin Puppy, yes, that's a funny video. Levine. It's a name spelled in Cyrillic. Probably the name is in Cyrillic for some people. Dog's bollocks equals impressive. Yeah, it does, but I don't know why, Tony. But I should do. My dad was a Cockney, was brought up with Cockney rhyming slang and that kind of thing. Taters, apples, kettles, Aris. Shove it up your Aris. Ostensibly it's a spoon. Yeah, from Meccano, a popular British construction toy from the 1926. Best set was the box. Hence the Docs Bellocks. Okay. Unglued Brit. There you go. You've had an explanation about the dog's bollocks. Have you got a video of your cats? I'm a cat lover from Manchester who follows Manchester City. Nothing impressive about a dog's nuts. Yeah, there's a few little shorts on the channel. I think there was one yesterday actually showing these terrorists in this. I can hear somebody screaming. Cat, that is. The bee's knees. Yeah, the bee's knees is the business. It's the business means it's the bee's knees. It's great. Yeah. Mozzies cozzies. Yeah. But no, bee's knees is short for business. It's the business. If something's the business, it's pretty awesome. Here we go. Caught up with the chat again. That's good. That's a good sign. Guys, I'm going to wind it up now because it's getting late. And my eyes are starting to get a bit heavy. And I need to go and find this stupid cat. So, thanks for joining us. If you came over from the Telegram channel, apologies for that not working out. No idea why. It's obviously pilot error. I'm an idiot. Things go wrong. But dog's bollocks, someone or something that you think is extremely good. Yes. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Please, if you want to ask something, join the Telegram channel. And you know, if you want to chat with me about anything, if you've got lots of questions and you don't really know how to put it, or certainly typing it out is, you know, challenging, which it would be for me, then join the Telegram channel and I'll happily answer anything that I can. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Really important that as many people as possible see just normal Russia, just a different version of what most people have in their minds of what Russia is. But in the meantime, until the next time, I'll see you in the next one.